In this video, I'm going to talk about why you should stop circle prospecting today. My name is AJ Mida, and I've coached hundreds of agents and I help them get financially free. I mean, just think about it. By the end of this video, I think you might have maybe a little bit of a different perspective than you did prior to this video if you've been circle prospecting for a while. So hear me out. So think about it. So circle prospecting is completely untargeted, right? It's like the spaghetti method, the spaghetti approach. So you're just calling into neighborhoods. If you don't know what circle prospecting is, you're calling the entire neighborhood, asking them when they might be looking to sell, essentially. So you're calling every single house, and it's not targeted. You don't know when they're going to sell. You don't know when they moved in. You don't know if they're a renter. So it's extremely high volume of calls. And it's also a very long pipeline. Even if you get somebody that's open to having a conversation with you, they're like, oh yeah, we might sell in a couple of years. It's a very long timeline to that appointment or to that sale. So because you got to make so many calls, because it's not targeted, because it takes so long to get an appointment, you got to make so many contacts to get an appointment. I mean, you might have 500 contacts, not exaggerating, before you even get one appointment. Because of these things, it's not my favorite method. It's like what you should do after the other methods that I coach and teach on. The first one being expired listings, old expired listings, and for sale by owners. I mean, think about it. An expired listing just came off the market yesterday or 6 months ago. If it's an old expired, for example, they're saying, hey, we want to sell our house. We just weren't able to. Our agent bailed us, right? So you know that it's a motivated, potentially, seller that's ready to do something right now. So it's much more targeted. Same with for sale by owners. They raised their hand and said, hey, we're looking to sell our house right now. And they're unrepresented. So you can reach out to them. And if they're struggling selling the house on their own, which many of them are, I think the latest stat was like 80% plus of for sale by owners end up selling their house with an agent. So it's a great pool of listing potential. Then we know they're going to sell their house. Like, they're going to do it. They're trying to do it on their own. So I call random homeowners instead of going to expireds and for sale by owners first, making that your pillar strategy. And if you're calling the new and old expireds and for sale by owners and doing really great follow-up, there's going to be not really that much time for you to even prospect to random homeowners. If you do have some time that's unaccounted for, like, hey, I got up through all my follow-ups today, got my old expires, my new expires, my for sale by owners, then sure, you can start calling into some neighborhoods, doing circle prospecting. But even with that, I would take a much more targeted approach. I would do just listed, just sold. Hey, we just listed a house. When do you plan on moving? Hey, we just sold a house. When do you plan on moving? Type scripts. Or even this, if you have a buyer or someone in your office has a buyer that's looking to purchase a house, you can call neighborhoods. I call it the hot buyer script. And you say, hi, my name is AJ Mida, local real estate agent. I'm calling today because I have a buyer that's looking to purchase in your neighborhood, and we haven't been able to quite find them the right house yet. Just out of curiosity, do you have any plans to move in the near future? That script is great because sellers want buyers. They don't want to list their house. They don't want to go through all the showings. They don't want to, potentially pay both sides of the commission if they can avoid it. So when you're calling into neighborhoods like that, they're like, okay, this person has a buyer that's ready, that's motivated. They've already looked at everything, can't find anything. And they might be thinking it's just a lot easier to work with you than having to list it on the market and do all that kind of stuff. That's usually a huge inconvenience. So if they're considering selling, they'll at least raise their hand and let you know. And in that case, you go preview it for your buyer. If it's a good fit, you show your buyer. If it's not a good fit, you let them know, and then you go ahead and do a listing appointment. I've sold many homes that way, so it's a great strategy. Do it the right way. Don't lie. Make sure that you or one of your colleagues has a buyer, so don't fake it. But that's a great way to also generate business if you're taking a more circle prospecting type approach. Now you might be thinking, well, AJ, you're making some really good points. Why would anyone circle prospect then? Why would anyone just call random homeowners? And I agree with you. That's also what I think. However, these aren't the actual reasons. The first one being they perceive less rejection. If you're calling expired, you're directly asking for the listing appointment through the script, right? You're calling with the expectation that, hey, I'm trying to get a listing appointment. And they have a chance to say yes or no. So there's real rejection that you might face. The reality is the rejection is not bigger than your dreams. So you can live with that rejection, right? It's not that tough, it's just a phone call. You're not going to war. And with circle prospecting, it just feels like there's less rejection because you're calling hundreds of people, talking to hundreds of people potentially in a day. And you're like, hey, this is AJ Mida, local real estate agent. I was just calling because I'm reaching out to a lot of the homeowners today in the area, seeing if they might be looking to sell in the next 12 to 24 months. Like, whatever your script is, that's like what it's like. And they're like, yes or no. Like, is versus like there's like no objection handlers. You don't have to be good at your scripts because it's just like the intro. So it's just perceived to be easier. And I'm not saying that circle prospecting doesn't work, because it does. The thing is what works better. I like things that are efficient. So I like things that take less time and that make me more money per hour. And I like ideally having to speak to less people per day. So what I found is expireds and for sale by owners allow me to do that. I'm allowed to be targeted, so I'm more efficient. I can speak to less people to get an appointment. So therefore, my dollar per hour goes up. My income per hour goes up because of that efficiency factor. If you're thinking to yourself, you want to start calling expireds for sale by owners, and you're like, well, I don't know where to start. Maybe I lack confidence. Maybe I don't know what to say. Well, I put together a seller prospecting course. There's a link in the description. You can sign up for free. It's a mini course. It's super simple to the point, and my scripts are in there. So check that out. If you're getting value from this video, and if you're going to sign up for that course, then definitely smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. That's a good place to start. Then you're going to need the numbers to call. You might need a CRM system, a power dialer. Well, there's a link in the description for that too, to save you $150. But this is the thing, guys. Get clear on what your goals are. And when I say your goals, I'm not talking about you want to make $100,000, $200,000 and sell 20, 30 homes, whatever that might be. I'm talking about what are your lifestyle goals? What kind of house do you want to be living in? What types of vacations do you want to be taking? What do you want your leisure activities to look like? This morning, I went e-foiling. It was absolutely awesome. If you don't know what e-foiling is, then definitely Google it. And this evening actually, after I wrap up this video, I'm going golfing. Like, I want to be able to enjoy my hobbies, enjoy my family, and that's really important to me. And I want to live in beautiful places. I live in a beautiful community that's on the beach, and there's so much to do with the kids, and amazing restaurants, and tennis courts, pickleball courts, a water park, like a beach club. Like there's so much to do, and that was always in my heart. That type of lifestyle was my freedom goal. So when I got so clear on what I wanted that to look like, then I was like, okay, what is it going to cost me? And then I figured out the cost. And then I was like, okay, well, how many homes do I need to sell? And then it became, how much passive income or residual income do I need to generate? So how much money do I need to be earning from EXP revenue share? This is how I accomplished it. And then that was, how much do I need to invest into apartment syndication deals? I also invest in hotels. I invest in self-storage. I invest in mobile home parks. There's different things that I invest in like that, as well as index funds, private equity. So I have like a few different buckets that I invest in, Airbnbs, because I wanted my passive income through those investments to then pay my lifestyle on top of the revenue share. So I just got super clear on what the plan was. So when I was like, okay, I got to make this phone call to this expired listing or to an agent that might be looking to join EXP, partner with me, and they might reject me. This expired might say, stop calling me. This agent might say not interested. I'm going to stay where I'm at. All of those answers are fine. And I was okay with that. Although with the expired listings, sometimes the rejection stings, I'm not going to lie. But it didn't matter because I knew what my goals were. I knew what I wanted my life to look like. And no amount of rejection could have ever stopped me from achieving those goals. It was that important to me because it was clear. It was written down in my journal. I have so many journals like this that are filled. I have vision boards like crazy from every year. These are just all goals written down like over and over, like always like crafting and re-engineering what I want my ideal life to look like. And when you're that clear on it, it's like nothing else will do except for achieving that success. So you're willing to make the calls consistently over time, because that's what success in real estate looks like. It's making the calls consistently over time. That's what it is. So when you're clear on that, you'll show up and you'll make the calls. So you got my seller prospecting course, link in the description. You're now clear on your goals. You want to get some role play partners. You want a time block when you're going to do your income producing activities, which is going to be primarily your prospecting in the mornings for 2 to 3 hours. You're going to be well on your way. I recommend getting a mentor or a paid coach. I mentor agents for free at EXP. So if you want to partner with me, shoot me an email, link in the description. And I'd love to have a chat with you, 15 minutes, see if it'd be a good fit. But what I know is that when you have a proven, repeatable blueprint and a mentor or coach to help you on that path, and you do the work, because then the only variable becomes, will you do the work? Because the mentor's been there. I've been there. I have the blueprint. I know it's repeatable. And I'm going to help you on that journey. The only variable is you. Will you do the work? Will you improve your skills? So if you haven't tried calling expires or for sale by owners yet, then start today, start tomorrow, start next week, get what you need to start calling and see if it's something that you feel like you can be successful with. Just give it 90 days, no shorter, because you need some time for it to work. You need to build that pipeline and start to feel the momentum that you're getting. And after 90 days, if you feel the momentum's working, if you're like, okay, I can do this, this is the clear path to my goal. I don't have a plan B. This is my only plan, my plan A. I burn the boats. This is what's going to work. Then keep going. But if you're like, hey, you know what? I could actually invest in some, pay-per-click leads for buyers, or I can just go back to holding open houses every weekend. Well, then do that. It's not a big deal, but take action today.